What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Roll Tide Cafe, a part of the Bama Standard Network. As you guys can see here, we got a special guest on today, Coach Kevin Bull Jones from Coach One Sports. Make sure to look up him on his YouTube channel. But Coach, how you doing today?
Hey, all is well. All is well. We're alive today, so put it on the 50. I'm cover zero, baby. Let's go.
Cover zero. That's your thing, man. All right, guys. In today's video, we're going to be covering Malachi Moore's actions. Look, there's a lot of people that's given a lot of opinions on this. And as an emotional Alabama fan, losing to Vandy, I wanted to give it 24 hours, right? So I wanted to make sure that when this video is made, I've kind of got logic back in my brain before I start speaking versus having the whole just being mad that we lost to Vandy. We shouldn't lost to Vandy and all that stuff. But the more and more I watch this Malachi Moore clip that I put together, which is basically 3 sequences that I stitched together, which I'm about to show you guys. Yeah, I'll just save it for after Coach Jones, his reaction as well. So with that being said, Coach Jones, let's go ahead and look at Malachi Moore reactions in his, we'll say enthusiasm at the end of the Vandy game. And let me go ahead and get your take on that. So the first one here, Malachi shoving the quarterback's head in the ground. And now we got throwing the mouthpiece, throwing a tantrum. I mean, and I know it's coming at everybody fast here. Intrusive thoughts entering his brain here as he's walking up to the ball. You could definitely tell, man, wildness kicking the ball in the 15-yard penalty. And then refusing to come off the field. As you guys can see here, Bray Hubbard was supposed to come in and substitute him out. And then Malachi's like, nope, calls him off. Kane Womack tries to walk on the field, as you guys can see, up to the 40-yard line. Malachi says, nope, not coming out. Good luck with that. I'm staying on the field. And starts walking away from everybody. And that's pretty much it. And just because we'll go back to the first clip real quick because it's so fast. Look, guys, Malachi's on top of the quarterback right here. Now watch, obviously, what happens directly after. Right here, he clearly shoves the dude, gets on top and shoves his head in the ground. So with all that being said, as you guys can see, make sure to leave in the comments below what you guys think about that. But Coach, give me your initial reaction when you see Malachi Moore, or All-American safety, do this. Supposed to be the first, possible first or second round draft pick, all that stuff, leading up to this year. That's why he came back to supposedly get better, do better, win another national championship. But give me your take on this real quick.
Okay, so I'm probably going to surprise you a little bit, but I'm just going to think now. This is Coach Kevin Bull Jones talking. This is not the fan. This is Coach Kevin Bull Jones talking. And being in coaching 30 plus years, I've had situations that have occurred with some of my players, but there are 3 levels to this situation that occurred. The first level is, yes, there was, first of all, you got your butt whipped. And you got whipped in front of it, I call it the Saturday night special, in front of millions of people. Now, keep in mind, Malachi Moore has been, you talking about, he was on the 2020 team, so he's been around for some of the greatest battles in the last 5 years for University of Alabama. He played as a true freshman, so he has been part of and has seen every level of the success and the peaks and valleys of Alabama football. Okay, so let's give him that much. However, I don't condone what he did, but more importantly, I've never had a player, if I call for you to come off that field, okay, and you don't come, okay, so I'm not on the big time national television circuit so everybody can see me, but I can promise you I would make the ESPN highlights because I would go get him. You're not going to defy my defensive coordinator, but more importantly than that, you're not going to defy. Everybody wants to talk about the emotion of the moment. The part with the kicking the football did not rake my skin at all. That part didn't. That is the emotional part of it. I've learned from Coach Saban as well as Coach Teddy Keaton at Clark Atlanta University and other coaches. Don't play with emotion, but don't be emotional. The second part of this situation is how this is, everybody wants to say, well, he's the emotional leader of the team. He's this, he's that. Okay, but here's the problem. It's coaching. I'm going to just tell you, it's coaching. There's some part of this as a coach that you have your defining moment with an upperclassman. In this case, a fifth-year grad student, graduated senior. Usually the old cliche, when you take over a program, you try to deal with the seniors, but they really got one foot out the door already. For whatever reason, Malachi Moore decided to stay. I heard, he was making more money because he was projected as a third round pick. So he was, even though he could have been one of the top 5 safeties, he was still projected as a third round, maybe even a late second round. But let me get back to my point. My point being, as a coach, you decide, are you going to ride with the seniors? If you're going to ride, what part of the old regime do you embrace? And what part do you make it about your program and how things are going to go from the beginning to the end? When I talk about getting butter from the duck, how are you going to run your program? What will you allow and what will you not allow? And I accept all the moments and talk about his toughness, which is valid, his emotions, which is valid, his tenacity, which is valid. What I don't rock with is when your coach tells you to bring your tail off the daggum field and you have a temper tantrum Chucky moment and you can't get off the field. See, at that point, and I have a lot of respect for Coach DeBoer, don't get me wrong, but I have been known in people that know me as a coach, if I got to burn a timeout to address something, Bull Jones is going to pull that timeout and I'm going to walk my narrow tail on that field and I'm going to address whatever it is I'm going to address. And because you don't want that to bleed. It looks bad from the outside. Everybody's saying the right things now. But the reality is, when your coach tells you to get your butt off the field and you don't get off the field, Johnathan, that's another level. And that's character. But more importantly, for me, that's respect to your coach.
Yep.
I got a problem with that. And I do believe Coach DeBoer is going to deal with that in his way. What is his way? Everybody is about to find out what his way is. I don't know what that is. I don't know if that's stadium steps. I don't know what that is, carried by everybody else's equipment after the practice. I don't know. Or do you miss time or you don't start? What I do know is that was a defining moment as a coach, as a head football coach, to deal with a major issue. Everybody wants to talk about when Coach Saban was there and what he would have done. Sports fans, let's not do that. Let's not do that because there's some other Bama players that were no day at the beach, whether it was at the NFL Combine, hello.
Yep.
Or it was in their own personal life, hello. There were some things. And, so let's not compare apples and oranges. What we can compare is how will Coach DeBoer address this with his team and set the example, because now you have a nationally recognized situation where you do have to set the example. Does that hurt his issues with the draft and his character? Maybe. Some people might say, well, it was a flip moment to really, he's seen his team for the last 6 quarters go downhill, but I don't know if it's character. I know what is character. When your coach tells you come off that field, brother, you better come off the field. Because now you're disrespecting authority. That's the only part I had a problem with.
Yeah. So, okay, address me to him throwing the quarterback's head against the field.
Well, so, and just watching, my quarterbacks that have gone through games, the peaks and valleys of the game, the trash talking, anytime that something has been done to you and you get a chance to retaliate, it's wrong, but it does happen in the game. Not saying that the quarterback for Vandy did anything in particular. That was an emotional moment. That's to me, that's the equivalent of stepping on somebody's foot or something at the end of the game because you are in your feelings about taking this L in front of millions of people. That to me is emotion. That is the emotional part. He should have used emotional control. He didn't do that. He became emotional in the moment of the last seconds. And that quarterback was running all over them doing his thing.
Yeah, he was.
So I'm going to say that it looked bad. And there's a lot of things that go on in them piles that's bad.
That we don't see.
Yeah, man. I mean, it's pretty bad. You getting somebody spit in your face, hit you in the crotch, or you get an uncomfortable feeling in a place that you know it's not supposed to be uncomfortable, if you know what I mean. So that was bad. But
yeah, I got you. So essentially, what we're learning here is, look, there's layers to this. Clearly, he disrespected people. Clearly, you know what I mean? I feel like there's probably punishment coming. Yes. But more importantly, what I'm getting from this is we're about to find out what type of coach Kalen DeBoer is.
Bingo.
So, and Kane Womack. Let's not get it twisted. Maybe even see a little bit of Mo Linguist involved here, the secondary coach as well. So, right. Yeah, I mean, my initial take as an Alabama fan, right, as a casual fan watching this, is you're going, why, right? So I understand the emotional standpoint. You're there for 5 seasons, right? You came back to win another national championship, in my opinion, to improve your draft stock, in my opinion. And now you get to reap the rewards of the guys 5 years ago didn't, which is collect the NIL money, right? So now you have an opportunity to benefit from this at the college level. And now you watch a team obviously would much rather lose a tight game to Georgia and figure it out and get it put together for Vandy versus beating Georgia, emotional win, everybody hyping you up, everybody saying you're the best, this, best, that. And then you go into Vandy, a game that you're 23-point favorites in, and you don't get beat by luck, right? You get beat soundly. Yes. They ran on you. They threw the ball on you. You couldn't do anything about it. Our offense, in my opinion, performed great. And I think you're 100% correct on the emotional standpoint. Definitely. Obviously, we appreciate the coaching standpoint because I don't get that point. I can't give that point, right? So I'm not a coach. But no, as a fan, you just look at this. And I'm so glad you said, please stop with the whole Nick Saban would have done this, because that is driving me up the wall, folks. Nick Saban addressed a lot of issues that he had on every single team, every single year. This was not a one-off instance. This is not a Kalen DeBoer problem, right? Every single team, in my opinion, probably experiences something like this. It's just Nick Saban layered it, and he did a great job of not leaking out a lot of information of stuff that was going on inside that program.
Right.
So, but yeah, guys, go back. If you want to look at some stuff, do some research on Reuben Foster and a lot of these cats. You know what I mean? Great players. Yeah. But there were a lot of issues, a lot of second chances for smoking. You know what? You know what I mean? Like it goes on and on and on. What goes on in those locker rooms, these parties on campus, these dorm rooms that we don't know about. So as casual fans, right? So, but yeah, we always got to keep that stuff in mind. It's just a matter of getting a grasp on it and getting a handle on it. But either way, all right, guys. Well, I appreciate everybody getting on here. Make sure to leave the comments below on what you guys think about this. And if you haven't already, make sure to like, share, and subscribe to the Roll Tide Cafe, part of the Bama Standard Network. And also make sure to go over and check out Coach One Sports with Coach Kevin Bull Jones. Appreciate your time. Appreciate you getting on here. We got to link up more often, maybe every Sunday moving forward, and doing a little short video or something put together. But we appreciate you coming on, Coach.
No problem. We'll talk to you later.
All right. Roll Tide.
Roll Tide.